Okay, so like definitely I'm still thinking about the theory and the bad luck. The day was not really as the current day might be that the part of son for minority might have been that case, definitely my theory so that the loss of that minority might have happened even before that 8 years back that might have been so that the mission being carried out with Black Panther 8 years back might have been in honor of Black minority for Black minority after Black minority so like I'm focusing that the name was well as Black friendly. Um, along with Rebecca made a promise, made that promise to the future to carry on that Mallory course and to not stop until that they bring that, which might have been Mallory's progress, which might have been to that bring down land support and like this might have been a tool that these might have been very so that's certainly might have very unfortunate that like the percentage what need might be either the best friend of Lexaca or like might have gone towards either talking down of like an experience that like that of that in like the past due to that pursuit. And uh, that way might be at present might have infiltrated into that the one to get fulfilling might have been what might be the case certainly with the Raymond. Okay, so that's at least I'm still later whether to the unfortunate for my home that might be completely innocent everything that happened to that Saka. And it might be the lab there as well as that magic that might be like that full purpose, especially mother the Raymond and magic might have and that social information that Madden as well as that land that might have kept it cooking the even though the person might be like that the case, especially when it's a real suddenly what that the only thing that in back then might have told home that might have been that like Madeline had fired but that might be that's the only thing that like Madeline might have told home that Stephanie's might go to the impression that then never might be lovely unaware even to the person for like what happened to that way back then and that's for like that I haven't gone the way that one step might be the so that that way, something might be very person that home level as person might be even like something that like everything really is like billion team is like so as person might be again like so sign like what might be all just solely due to that that mad and fire that way that eliminating experiments for that might be around the lines of number like percentage like on the right person might be in the secondary so like that I'm notifying without being created as that I'm notifying that confirmation between that Homelander can do happening and Homelander finding this hideout and such a confirmation happening and at that point I'm notifying should be only when that I'm notifying that Homelander so even find out as to that what actually that extent to which that he knows of that what actually happened to them the guy in that the path that made my person the that on realizing that I'm different that Homeland was still most likely would be having that race against that fully ending for like everything so far for the progress they have made so far against like the and like the water certainly not the remedy that like at that point I'm not different to be my person for like Homeland would like to actually at that point and take what might be a font claim of that everything about like everything that happened to that but and that way even for thinking that what might be there is that a concept that online reflection is also part of that and is in only way. So that the play the theory I'm looking right now that Homelander might have shown that the focus of that the anti to that man so after that he might have got it might have been that to the is definitely might have been able to like at that point still not really for any like that might have seeing that the cause of complexity said that management is straight away remembered that that might be the exact for just the legal engineering. So definitely I'm looking at that point because like Madeline myself also decided to like to in photos and that recent contact of like Charlotte as well as that Patrick which like you to take advantage of that to like to trick that Charlotte as well as like Patrick into firing them as well. Might be along the line from those different matters might have most likely by now might have taken the decision the human mission because like at least Madeline might be at present well aware of that the film equation like the field performance of that April as well as like at least Madeline might be at present the praise to that fire starlight as well definitely the so definitely I'm referring that for like Madeline might have at that point told Homelander that that she's going to like fire Adrian as well as like as well as like Starlight and she wants like Homelander to like deliver that message to him personally might be along the line Black Magic might have go Homelander certainly might say. So that at that point I'm looking like Homelander might have told Mad in that game Black Homelander wants Black Green Mail as well fired from Black the Seven. Might be along the line Black Homelander might have told Mad at that point might have been what might have happened doesn't mean in the game. Because like I'm totally different Black Homelander by now might have found out about Elena. Like I'm still in the mind of the reaction that in that film certain part like soon after like we never had like joined like the seven. So at that point might have played a ball for like windmill. And like at that point like Homeland might have wanted to be in like the relationship with like windmill. So like at that point windmill solely to like survive in like the seven like it might have been the goal for like windmill since windmill might have been like the case that would not be great. So definitely I'm referring only to like survive and be part of like the seven like windmill back then might have broken up the black arena and might have attended to like Homelander. Might have been what might have happened is certainly considering. So like in William wrote the frame that Homelander considering the conference who might have found out about like Elena might have quickly won game against that same Elena ever again. Might have been that it is might have been what might have happened is Elena was very so that after like a few years it might have been that Homelander himself that might have been really now it was still like Green and might have broken up exactly in there, might have been what might have happened if you want to end. But like even at that point, by breaking up exactly in there, Homelander might have still had that condition for like being there, like still never ever see Selena ever again. Might have been like the case for Selena again. Might have been that condition of like Homelander that like Winner might have probably like recently that going up to seeing Selena might have been like the case with me might be the reimbursement. So Homelander might have by now found out about that as well might have been like the case for Lino with the Real Madrid. So that way like Homelander maybe might be wanting we may have as well from like seven might be that it is the Real Madrid in the Real Madrid. So this like the scenario that I'm looking for. So that 100% I'm looking for like Homelander to uh to announce that Starlight as well as that Catherine as well as that Queen Maeve has like been fired from Jack the Seven to that like the scenario that I'm looking for. So and that they are looking to have which exact form individual processing superpowers to that exactly replace that the forms of including these as well. Might be around the line maybe Madam might have already planned that meet might be also, definitely be reimbursement for like Starlight to that object. They definitely feel that he might be having a strong valid, might be totally having a strong valid reason for that being part of like the team that brought down translucent to be along the lines of those different ones like Starlight. We'll be finding out that Starlight to initially be under like the technique might be reimbursed. But like that way, maybe they have those different Starlight. But like at the same time, like there will be that side of like Starlight as well that would be split and he would be with that feeling that absolute feeling of disappointment of lack he was being so deceptive and hadn't taken advantage of Black Starlight. Certainly to be along the lines like the other side of Black Starlight would be strongly feeling in like Starlight might certainly want to represent. Yet like I'm totally praying on like Starlight would be that way I'm totally praying for like Starlight top priority to be to like exactly to give Hughie that heads up that basically Homeland of uh, about the like scenarios that I'm going to bring. And Starlight definitely succeeding in doing that. Exactly that is like the scenarios that I'm going to bring. And once like Starlight will be given that extra itself that I'm going to bring for like Huey attending to that complete to that Starlight and basically revealing about that Robin and Adrian. But like at that point I'm going to bring Starlight to definitely get extremely enraged and like Huey uh, for like having brought down an innocent transfusion because the elite might put be real. So that way I'm not different for like that point on like Starlight not wanting anything at all to do with like you. It's like it's not in the like I'm definitely putting Starlight definitely no opinion to like focus you for like bringing down translucent it's like it's not anytime soon at all like it's not until I'm not different for the ready in like by like at the end of that season two or like by the beginning of that season three. So only when I go and finally like Starlight to be giving you a chance again. This is like the interpreter scenario that I'm looking at the game, which as well I'm not trying to be most likely through Starlight eventually maybe even finding out that like translucent might be naturally realistic individuals who might have done all sorts of like realistic crimes throughout like career in like society might be less activity especially in Australia. Although leave my area but then something I want to that like we may might be not like living on old self in starlight before last what might be we might have got corrupted by like the government and that we might have maybe reminded we may of that maybe that might have been replicated that we were today. So that the team that is very important right now is that like even after like France looking at the from close and all that like and those are Homelander still even though the might be still be underestimating logically and it might be that the actually the case definitely reference that way I'm totally different everything translucent as present everything catering and present those that might be all according to that that order of that Homelander might be the case definitely reference. So like even to the person that Homelander might be or constantly stating that literally a single A train will be more than enough to like bring down the entirety of like Brilliant might be along the lines of like under like person like or people that like home that might be definitely the trend. So like I'm so different right now. Not like Dewey would be showing up at like Dewey hope like at that point some for different in front of like Dewey's father like I'm different like A train interrogating you like not that I'm the as well I'm not actually according to like from the other like not that I'm so like a train at that point interrogating Huey and like Huey initially so his absolute best to like a train but like at that point with like a train interrogating Huey with like bring down Huey's power like not that number so like at that point I'm actually revealing all the truth everything Huey knows about like reality and everything they have done so far and everything like not that way I'm doing like a train finding out about like about like the backup situation and everything is like it's not that I'm so at that point, after like extracting out all the bullshit information out of that, the like I'm different like a train realistically ending up bringing down an actual farm to that is like absolute of five not like it's not that I'm different. So that a train doing that and then in next thing in the six line of task that a train will be about to bring down fuel as well. And that will last like an upon getting for like five then I'm not getting for like billion team. Definitely I'm bring like really to be feeling might be leading up to a certain kind of league like the moment that after like 2 weeks would be making it to like a train without practically and or like a train to be going down 2 weeks might be along the lines of like that absolute possibility that actually might have felt and definitely I'm trying like same theory might be like the top priority of that really and like that quality of like might be the case and that the reason might be so leading to like the due to like the situation being relatable to like the lead situation, like solely due to that factor alone, like like ensuring that he doesn't get thrown down might be of like the very top priority for like the league. Might be like that with the case that Newman surrenders. So like that we are protecting like right before like catering would be allowed to bring down Chile like I'm protecting for like Chile and team from likely like for the window of like to home like I'm so different than not really using a weapon with like what might be like the weakness of that catering which I'm totally different by then for like Siri like which is different Siri by then to now more likely figured out research and like even way back like when we might have assigned Siri with like the task to like figure out like to maybe hack into like the bot computers and basically remove them basically to find out like the crucial information as to like what it is that's the weakness of like a train might be like this a train or like or seven of like the sevens that might be along the line like a task that for the major century so like that task like maybe unbroken by then that theory could have gotten like the found like the weakness of like a train so like theory revealing that to like 20 in time and this with that a billion and the thing that's showing up to like 2 years old and from like the window to like the weapon like them spiking a train so like a train's weakness like this now that I'm and that resulting in like a train getting immobilized like into like an immobilized kind of state. And at that point, I'm predicting like Huey and an extremely enraged like Huey taking out just like as those frustration and rage and desire to get revenge on like a train. So like the law of lack of organization, love like power, like I'm different like Huey taking out that absolute frustration on a train by bringing down a train instead. And that way, like the law of like a train, I think is like the invention arm that I'm doing. Yes, definitely my secondary emotion right now is that like 10% it might not necessarily form boundary that's in like 2%, but like it might be a similar feeling flow color liquid, which might be in actually like the weakness of like Adrian. It might have like the power to like immobilize Adrian. Might be like the actually of like the case that make my secondary emotion. So that I'm trying to particularly my secondary that like Billy and they might have translated them most likely but they might have contacted luxury. Luxury herself might have already created liquid and luxury might have delivered that liquid to that you and like that way so different right now for like the moment a train will be like consuming that liquid at that point because like a train is getting immobilized like not that and at that point the condo different maybe feeling healthy showing up and if that's the scenario then I'm so different for like at that point for like from there you figure it out like really most likely telling you to get his weapons and bring down a train. But like at that point, once again, that comes to different activities to be hesitating. And at that point, I'm probably saying for most likely for like Kimiko, most likely taking off her praise towards like a train and basically bringing down a train. That's the now that I really good. So like the long a train, I'm going to bring like Billy and team feeling that like they have made a lot of progress in their battle against the but like I'm totally fine while they will be more confidently in that feeling like I'm totally fine to their all of their unexpected extreme unexpected shock and totally without feel at all like the loss of lack of money as well as lack of family son as well as lack of the father. I'm totally putting that like happening by maybe Homelander and Black Noir. So that means putting the bacteria in a for like without delayed or less and those things for like again teams the move to a new hideout and actually to be more effective providing that new hideout of like scenario and everything and I'm looking for to be only at that point that I'm looking for like sorry to be finding out about like crazy and Kimiko and at that point I'm looking that it's really to be doing it in gameplay and actually jealous of like Kimiko's that scenario that I'm looking grocery in one of like Kimiko's like future missions as part of that belief and these missions like I'm looking while Kimiko who we do have part of the community and looking for like recently attempting to either bring down Kimiko or like if they are attempting to like blow Kimiko's cover and get Kimiko caught by either from them or like darkness. And basically in that attempt of Cherry like I'm looking that attempt like circling back and failing and resulting in like Kimiko appearing in that mission as well as like luckily getting captain while in the face of Kimiko that Cherry herself like attempt failing and backfiring to the point of that Cherry getting caught by either one another or like Ragnar and the lot of story happening in that very interesting scenarios that are visible in the play.